Dude, get in here. They're playing MintBites.
Anyway, that's why I never play racquetball in a lightning storm.
Well, I don't know why you do that in the first place, but I guess it's a good caution.
It seemed like a good time of day to do it. I was
Interesting.
planning for it anyway, and so there it was.
Well, sometimes you got to play racquetball.
Yeah. Even if it's in a lightning storm.
Even if it's in a lightning storm.
Mm.
Speaking of fitness, racquetball.
Mm-hmm. The most fit sport of all time.
Yeah. I think it's, what do you think about, fitness? What do you think about exercise, health, wellness?
I think it's important.
Yeah.
I think, it's in your best interest to stay at least a little bit fit and healthy. Do what you can with the time you have. And, you don't have to necessarily have access to all the fancy little doodads and, ins and outs of the fitness world. But, just doing your best to maintain a healthy lifestyle and, doing it not because, it's more because like you should, or I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's something.
It's important to take care of yourself.
Yeah, and also active. You should feel like, yeah, I get to, it's something open for everybody.
Yeah.
There's no like, oh, I can't because of, well, you can stay active just doing whatever.
Yeah, most anyone can be active, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, no. What about these gym rats? What about these lunks?
Oh, the lunks.
The lunk subcategory.
The metalheads.
Yeah, as we call them, beef monkeys.
Beef monkeys. I think we talked about
apes of men.
Well, we got a message for you guys listening at home.
If you're a shredded cheese meister, we got a bone to pick.
Got some bones, almost a skeleton full of. Well, actually, maybe not that many, because that's a lot of bones. Do you know how many bones are in the human body?
12?
A shocking amount.
Oh.
It might be 12.
Okay. 12 would be shocking.
12 would be shocking.
That'd be that few.
That few? Wow.
No, but and if you're someone, for example, I have some friends that work out quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
That they're pretty beefy, dude. They're pretty into it, but like they're pretty like they meet other people where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
As far as like he's not like he's not like oh he's never being like let's go 10 more 5 more 8 more. He's just like, yo, what do you want to do, bro? And like, all right, we'll do that. And like, what weight you want? Like, there's never any pressure. And I think the problem be with the people put pressure on you.
Yeah, I agree. I think if you're someone who's very in shape, which there's many people, great people out there who are really in shape, and I don't fault them at all for that. Like, I'm not gonna fault anybody for being fit,
Yeah.
But I will say that in a group environment, especially, it's really easy, and sometimes you don't even realize you're doing it, to peer pressure others into trying to meet your standards.
Groupthink mentality kind of stuff.
A
lot of this is established sociological, psychological stuff, guys.
Mm-hmm.
This is serious.
Yeah,
this is real.
It is. So, there's this idea, like you said, where you always gotta do 5 more, always do this X amount more because that's what I can do, or that's what I believe you should do because it's what I think the best number is. And maybe you're a really studied person and you actually know a lot about, the mathematics of workouts or whatever. So sure, maybe you know a thing or two, but you also got to take into account the person that you're working out with, because you can't just, plug a person into a fitness equation and then be like, yep, the same results will yield the same way I got them or something like that.
Well, I remember I went to, on the note of like other people, being like, do this many.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, you could be really studied or you could be dumb. I went to LA Fitness with this one person and they're just like, push, go, like more and more. And, the next 5 days, I couldn't use my arms.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I hurt myself. Like, seriously hurt myself. Like, and some people think that's normal. And some people think that's good. They're like, oh, no, yeah, that's how you get big, bro. Oh, you got to be super sore. It's like, no, that's unhealthy.
No.
You know, where's the logic in destroying yourself to build yourself up? It's like completely annihilating yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because you have to rip your muscles to build them, but completely just...
To just be like, I'm going to get these to the point where I can't even use them.
Yeah.
But that's a good sign. Now, you should be a little sore maybe a little bit after your workout. That's normal. But, you know, when it's like go to your max and then go further, you know, especially when you're starting out.
Till failure, every set. Go till failure. Oh, you know, feel the burn. Oh, yeah. It's like, not like an automasochist like you, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Which brings us to the term of it's kind of memed on these days, but the term gymtimidation.
Gymtimidation.
What a word.
Yeah, it's good. Like kind of like peer pressuring in that gym setting.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, peer pressure, you know, that's something. Dude, leave it in the high school gym, Doug.
Yeah.
Peer pressure has no place in the adult world. That's one of those things that is just like, bro, come on, we're adults. We're men and women.
Yeah. Move on.
We're mature.
It is a very childish thing to be like, you know, and I hate being all holier than thou, being like, what a childish thing but it is. Call a spade in this case. It is something you shouldn't do if you're a little, you know, I don't know.
You can't assert yourself onto people. It's so hard. Yeah.
And then what also gets me a lot of times is that some people will sometimes trick themselves into thinking that they aren't peer pressuring you by being kind of falsely self-aware about it. You know, being like, oh, don't worry, we're not gymtimidating here, and then still doing it.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's something that, you know, there's a chance maybe you're not doing that intentionally, but it does also come off that way to people when you're like, oh, well, you just said, you know, this is the kind of environment we're trying to make, but then you're still doing the thing that you said you wouldn't do. And that becomes a problem. A lot of people don't want to admit that they see that, you know, maybe they recognize it, but they're like, oh, maybe they're just, you know, I don't want to point it out. Like, point it out, man. Point it out to your friends.
Yeah. It's hard, you know, because like, I experienced that a lot, like wrestling, weight room, you know, in high school and all these places. Like, it was rampant, you know, this mentality of just like, even just like the push it mentality, like because like with wrestling, say, like, you know, people were just so hardcore about it, and like they thought because they were hardcore about it, you had to be hardcore about it, or like you were like disgracing the sport, or you know, you were like, oh, you're not living up to the standards, or and it's all groupthink. It's all what happens when people get in a group.
Yeah.
It's what I think about groups are funny, and you know, because they can cause some weird, wacky mental stuff to happen.
Yeah.
And anything you should watch out. I think if anything, you should watch out for groups that are a party, like on a normal basis, that you don't have to be invited to. You know, somewhere you could just show up. There's no. Like, you can mess up and you can do something that would make someone X you, and then you could still be there next week. Yeah. You know, you can act out, and you could just show up all the time.
Yeah.
Just be, you know.
That's just finding a good group of people to be around in general. You know, not even for just like working out purposes, but like, you know, getting yourself a solid group of friends, some good lads to just kind of, you know, that you feel really comfortable with in the first place, and then to take it a step further and say, oh, now I'm going to try to, you know, do like this group activity together. That,
like, it doesn't have to be the team. You don't have to be friends with the team. With, you know, those don't have, you could play on the team, you know, be a team player, but like, you don't have to like, you know, inject like become totally a part of the team. I know that was the thing. It's like, oh, everyone go to this guy's house, like we're all hanging out and doing this, and it's like, it's like, yeah, I'm good. That's just like the sport I play.
Right.
It's not like where I make my friends.
I'll tell you what. I played Little League for a few years when I was a kid, like 4 or 5 years. And my number one regret with playing Little League even though I loved baseball and I still love baseball, is I didn't have any fun for the last couple of years. And the reason I didn't have fun is because as I got older, kids got better at baseball and they also got way more competitive at baseball. And so I think combined with me just figuring out, oh wait, I'm not actually that great at baseball, which whatever. I'm not destined for the majors. But that combined with seeing everyone around me start to get a little more competitive in a real way, like not in a fun way. Yeah. That I was like, oh, this isn't fun anymore. And then I was like, well, I got to be better, but I didn't want to put any of the time into it, which, I went to the practices same as everybody else, but I was like, oh, well, I can't reach that same level. So I think the same can be said for something like working out, because unless you're like planning to be really, really fit, like genuinely, it should be something you enjoy doing.
Oh yeah, complete.
I think a lot of times when you work out, it and this is the reason a lot of people get turned away from it, is because it seems like it's more of a chore than something you get to go do.
Definitely.
Like I've felt that where I'm like, oh, I want to go work out, but also, oh, now then I have to be consistent. Then I got to reach X amount of things.
I'm gonna be wrecked tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other thing is people. You don't have to be wrecked the next day.
No.
That's not
like what kind of
That's just backwards. That's just off.
That's not true about anything. Yeah. When you're doing homework, it's like really, really advisable to not do it all in one night. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's not how you're supposed to do it. Do your thing. That's why people are always like, whoa, why am I so tired studying for the test all in one night? Because that's not how you're supposed to, you're not supposed to want to die the next day.
Yeah,
and be like,
my brain is mush.
Be like, well, that's how I study. It's like, no, that's, different things, homework and working out.
I think it all goes back to the high school sports too, because I think a lot of people started getting physical in high school sports, and they'll carry that over into adult life. Because, you had weight room when you were in a sport, and you had all that access and stuff. And basically it was like, coach has you for 6 months, you know. He doesn't care about the other 6 months. For these 6 months, he wants to make you into a machine, a beast. He's got to make you, wants to make you as strong and as, ruthless as possible. You got to be the best sportsman, for whatever sport you're playing. Yeah. And that comes at a cost. That's not good for your body. The way that people play in high school sports, people get hurt. You get concussions. And I have permanent injuries from high school sports. I know plenty of people who have permanent injuries from high school sports. Yeah. It's not good. It shouldn't be that way. And it's normal. I think a lot of people just think, oh yeah, it's normal. You just you get through high school and you can't use your knees or your shoulders, or your back is completely wrecked. You can't think straight because of all 4 concussions on top of each other. It's like, that's not normal. It's not normal to be physical and to just destroy your body completely.
Yeah. And I think,
so you're lucky that you missed out on all that.
Oh, I didn't do high school sports.
Like, you are very lucky that you didn't have to.
I watched sports.
Do that.
I sure didn't do them. And, that even ties into the professional athletes, because that's sort of a model a lot of people use. Oh, I want to be like this football player. Yeah. I want to be like this basketball player. But what you don't realize is that professional athletes have like genuinely amazing resources for working out. Yeah. Like they have their own, a lot of them have their own home gym, probably their own personal trainer, plus a team of other trainers that's just for the team. And they don't just build for they build extra for the season like football players do, but they're also training the rest of the year anyway. Baseball players do that. But again, dude, being an athlete can hurt your body a lot. And sometimes in a lot of ways that you can't even prevent. Like basically every MLB pitcher has to undergo Tommy John surgery, which is this surgery on your arm, basically. Yeah. And it just is something that you have to do, basically, because throwing your arm that fast, that many times, like there's no way around it. Like if you're an MLB pitcher, you will get this surgery at some point, basically. And like, that's not even something.
And it's normal.
That's not even like you messed up, now you got to get Tommy John. Like literally, that is just something that happens.
If you're a pitcher, did you get Tommy John yet?
Yeah, exactly. So every pitcher has to miss at least one season because they got to go get this surgery.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. I think, I don't know. We should, for high school especially, you shouldn't just train like a machine for a month and then call it quits. That's not healthy.
Yeah. Well, even like 6 months and you're gaining all this, you might gain all this muscle and blah, blah, blah. Like, it degrades your body. It's like it's going to cause you problems down the road and you're not going to realize it. Even internal organ problems, like, it's just very hard and it's very tough on you.
Yeah.
And a lot of people they keep that into the future. When working out, it should be enjoyable, should be fun. You should only work out as much as you want to, and you should feel good afterwards. You should feel more energized, and you should feel better than you did before you actually worked out.
Yep.
Maybe every once in a while you go really hard,
Yeah, I think that there's definitely times to try and push yourself, especially if you're trying to get to like peak mega.
Well, if you want to get
ultra
gains too, yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, that's
Just
fine.
do it gradually.
But when you start off with the, like every day you go in, from day one you start like this, like that's not right. So there was another thing. Oh yeah, last thing about high school working out. Like I don't know, you probably took weight training as a PE.
Did.
Yeah, I did too. You know what they didn't stress enough? Why it's important that you need to work out a certain way? Because they undersell it a lot. When they say it, I remember when I got taught it, they were like, you have to work out and lift weights this way, otherwise you'll get hurt. And I feel like that is just the understatement of the decade. You know what I mean? Because to me, I was like, okay, I don't want to get hurt, obviously, but my brain wasn't like hey, this is a crazy important thing.
Yeah.
Because I didn't realize the degree to which you could actually get hurt.
Yeah. Just
from picking some, and thankfully I didn't. But yeah, I mean, I think high school weight teachers and coaches and all that, you really need to, I don't know, take a day, take a week, however long you got to do.
You got to take a longer time. Well, that's the thing. All these people who I don't know, see it as their role to like motivate, to push, to like manage your physical exercise and your fitness, they don't know anything about it. They don't know anything about nutrition or fitness. Yeah. I'm sorry, none of these high school football coaches, these people don't know anything. I'm not claiming that I know a lot or anything.
Oh no, yeah.
I say I know like one or two really good things, like small, tiny things, and I can use those, pretty well for myself. Yeah. Like even I struggle with technique, and I still have to look up a lot of stuff. I get a lot of help from my friends who I trust, and I say, you know more than me. A lot of these coaches, again, they don't know jack.
That's the big disclaim. I mean, I think we disclaim that in like every one of our videos, but we're not experts in this subject. No. So when we talk about gym etiquette and, the idea of working out, obviously we're not experts in the matter, but I think there's things you need to talk about, and actually think about, when it comes to subjects like that.
Yeah. And again, I don't want to purport to be like some master, like I know more than everyone else. Like I'm very careful. I still get hurt sometimes in the gym. Actually, every 1, 2, 3 weeks, I'll pull something will go wrong. Like my technique will be off. Like I'm not by any means perfect.
Oh yeah.
And I still see that I have a lot to learn. But I think the big problem is when you think you don't have a lot to learn. You think, I figured it out. Yeah. I'm good. I have my knowledge. When in your mind there's no room for improvement, that's just disillusion. That's just wrong.
Yeah. What I think that sneaks into people's minds a little bit, that idea of like, I got to be on it every time. But, you got to remember that even the pros, mess up a lot. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like wide receivers drop passes, all-stars strike out, Michael Jordan missed shots.
Stars go out for a season.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, you gotta not be so hard on yourself, not just physically, but then that connects to mentally. You can't let that mentality of, if I don't do this, it's not right.
You also can't tie this stuff in with your like actual like well-being. Like something as volatile as sports shouldn't be the baseline for whether or not you're happy in life. Yeah. That should be coming from somewhere else entirely. Like, usually like In my opinion, maybe interpersonal relationships is kind of
that's
a big thing that you should focus on. And sports can make those go to the wayside, which I think, you can have, some sad sports people as well.
Mm-hmm. I think that's probably the easiest example of that. But any hobby, really, sports, or I don't know if you're really good at, I don't know, sports are easy because they're physical.
Yeah.
But like if there's something you do and it's like that's something that you're passionate about and brings you joy, that can't obviously that can't be the source of it. That can't be like I find all of my happiness here, and if this is messed up, and that gets more into emotional health and everything like that.
Just gets more into don't put all your eggs in one basket, kids.
Yeah. Spread those eggs around.
Spread those eggs around.
We got baskets for everybody. Well, my Capri Sun's empty.
Oh, let me finish my coffee.
Oh,
say something.
Most definitely. Well, we hope you enjoyed this mint bite. We like doing these nice and short. Hope you guys like them too. If you're working out soon, keep a what's the word I'm looking for? Keep a reasonable, expectation of yourself.
Yeah, and be careful, guys. We don't want you to get hurt. We want you guys to be healthy and happy.
And if you guys get hurt in the gym, then your arms are going to be too sore to smash that subscribe button.
What?
And then you guys won't. And then what are we going to do?
We won't like you anymore.
It's true. It's not true.
We're going to Gymtimidate you.
We're going to Gymtimidate you into smashing the like button.
What, you don't want to be a part of the gangstas?
You don't want to be a gangster?
You don't want to be a gangsta? One of our many fans?
Oh, well, looks like someone's weak. Looks like someone doesn't want it all.
Looks like someone sucks.
What a shame. What a shame. Is that a mustache?
It is.
I must ask you where you got that mustache.
I got it at Vaughn's.
You picked it up?
Yeah.
Oh.
Technically, I picked up a razor at Vaughn's. So
Oh.
I technically bought this mustache at Vaughn's.
Oh, well then, dang.
Yeah.
I gotta buy me one of those.
Do you think they can see my hat, or should I get closer?
I think they could probably see that you're wearing a hat. You could probably go up closer to show them exactly what the hat says. Yeah, there he goes. Oh, I'm sure they can see that. Papa.
This is for Papa. He's coming back. Did you hear? Did you hear?
I didn't hear he's coming back.
No official Papa John's news for me.
Yes. My hat says A24 on it. So as you could probably infer from that, I am a cinematic genius.
Yes, you are a pretentious film nut.
Ah, yes.
Ah, yes.
Where's my pipe? This film is mediocre.
This film is not mint.
Not mint.
Not mint at all.
Anyway, bye.
Anyway, bye.
Bye. Get out of here.